First up, viewers, India's largest airline, IndiGo, is in the middle of a full-blown operational crisis. With flight cancellations and delays spiraling across the country, IndiGo faces a severe crew and pilot shortage and is pushing back against the revised FDTL rules that mandate longer rest hours for pilots. While most airlines have already adapted to the new norms, IndiGo, on the other hand, has cited an acute shortage of crew leading to chaotic scheduling, widespread delays and large-scale cancellations. This, even as DGCA has reportedly been granting IndiGo continuous exemptions from standard flight duty time limit norms. And as per data, hundreds of flights have been cancelled and many have been delayed today alone due to the cascading impact of the disruptions. And adding pressure, the Airline Pilots Association of India has also issued a sharp statement questioning whether the current pilot shortage is a genuine planning failure or a deliberate strategy to force the regulator to dilute safety norms. ALPA says the pattern suggests a failure of proactive planning by dominant airlines and possibly aimed at pressuring DGCA for commercial gains. And the pilots' body has urged the regulator to consider pilot availability before approving airline slots and also schedules in line with the fatigue risk management system. Meanwhile, the crisis is now impacting other airlines too, because at Pune airport alone, IndiGo aircraft has occupied 9 out of 10 parking bays since last night because crew is unavailable to move them. With only one bay left for all other carriers, Air India, Akasa and others are now facing significant knock-on delays. A high-level meeting, meanwhile, is underway at the DGCA office where IndiGo officials have been summoned. Another meeting has been called at the Ministry of Civil Aviation to address passenger distress and operational paralysis of airports nationwide. For now, passengers have been advised to check flight status before heading to the airport, especially those who have booked their tickets on IndiGo, as IndiGo operations meltdown continues to ripple across the aviation network. It's an alarming situation across airports across the country. Hundreds of passengers who had booked their flights via IndiGo Airlines have now been stranded for hours together. We have Shubham Sharma, who's stranded at the Pune airport, joining us live on this broadcast. Shubham Sharma, a very good afternoon to you. Tell us what's happening around you and what's the situation at the Pune airport right now.
Sir, I was traveling from Pune to Delhi, but you can see in the background people are already stranded for the last 24 hours, है ना? तो मैं क्योंकि मेरे को आपकी आवाज़ बहुत कम आ रही है क्योंकि यहाँ पर बहुत शोर हो रहा है, तो मैं दिखाना चाहता हूँ, मैं खुद अपना एक्सपीरियंस आपको बताना चाहता हूँ कि सुबह 5 बजे की मेरी फ्लाइट थी दिल्ली के लिए इंडिगो की और मैं 3 बजे एयरपोर्ट पे आ गया, लेकिन इन लोगों ने मेरे को 5 बजे नहीं बताया कि दरअसल आपकी जो फ्लाइट है वो डिले है और इन्होंने 20 मिनट के पैचेस में उसको डिले बना के रखा और अभी आपसे बात करने से 10-15 मिनट पहले उसको कैंसिल कर दिया। ठीक है, अभी पीछे ये आपको जैसे लग रहा होगा किसी मैं बस स्टैंड पे खड़ा हूँ या फिर रेलवे स्टेशन पे खड़ा हूँ, लेकिन ये एक इंटरनेशनल एयरपोर्ट है जहां पर लोग पिछले 24 घंटे से फंसे हुए हैं और अधिकतर उसमें इंडिगो के पैसेंजर्स हैं। मेरी अभी बात हुई, वहां पर कुछ लोग जो है भड़क भी रहे हैं पीछे की साइड में, तो ये आप देखिए पीछे का पूरा सीन है। और मैं आपको एक चीज और बताता हूँ, जब इनसे क्वेश्चन करने जाते हैं हम लोग इंडिगो के जो भी क्रू मेंबर्स है या फिर जहाँ पर ग्राउंड स्टाफ है, एक तो वो रूडली जवाब देते हैं, सही से जवाब नहीं देते, और दूसरी बात अभी तक 12 से 15 घंटे हो गए मेरे को यहाँ पर, इन्होंने एक मतलब ग्लास ऑफ वाटर भी किसी भी पैसेंजर को नहीं पूछा कि आपको रिफ्रेशमेंट की जरूरत है, आपको मील्स की जरूरत है, रिफंड कैसे लेना है, ठीक है, आप इसको रिशेड्यूल कर सकते हैं कि नहीं कर सकते, कुछ भी नहीं बता रहे। और एकदम से आपको ये सूचना मिलती है कि आपकी फ्लाइट जो है कैंसिल हो गई। मेरे साथ मेरे 5-6 फ्रेंड थे, उन सभी के साथ ऐसा हुआ, उनकी अलग अलग फ्लाइट थी अलग अलग डेस्टिनेशन के लिए, और सभी के साथ ऐसा हुआ कि उनकी फ्लाइट्स को कैंसिल कर दिया गया।
Shubham, stay on with us because we have some more breaking news coming in. We are learning now that the meeting between DGCA and IndiGo has concluded. Ministry sources have said that the airline system for assigning and scheduling pilots was handled very poorly, which led to the current problems that people are facing across airports, across the country. And they explained that pilot availability and flight planning were not managed properly. The situation was described as complete mismanagement by IndiGo, showing serious gaps in how things were run. Sources also said the airline was operating in a very unprofessional way. The ministry is likely to question the airline and ask for clear-cut answers, and officials have been told to brief the authorities after the DGCA meeting about the disruptions. Sabyasachi joins us live. Sabyasachi will get us more information, will get us more inside details of this particular meeting that has concluded. In fact, let me now go across to Shubham Sharma, who continues to stay on with us. Shubham, as far as your relief is concerned, have they arranged alternate flights, or what is the IndiGo staff even saying to you?
Sir, आप repeat करेंगे या कुछ बहुत ज़्यादा शोर है?
Shubham, has the team from IndiGo provided you an alternate flight as a relief measure, or if not, what is their answer when you ask them for a relief?
सर, ऐसा कुछ भी नहीं हुआ है। ये आप पीछे देखिए, ये लोग अपने सवाल पूछ रहे हैं कि भाई आप लोग क्यों नहीं बताते कि हमारी फ्लाइट कैंसिल है कि नहीं है। ठीक है, पीछे बहुत ज्यादा भीड़ है, मैं आपको दिखा सकूं तो ये लोग
Shubham, if you could try and get us some voices from the crowd that has gathered at the airport, just to get a sense of what's happening on ground zero, if you could try and speak to them.
ये देखिए पीछे का, आप ये देखिए, ये लोग स्टाफ से बार बार पूछ रहे हैं कि भाई आपकी फ्लाइट कैंसिल है कि नहीं है, कि क्या है, मैं बता दीजिए, रिफ्रेशमेंट कैसे मिलेगी, और जो एकोमोडेशन दिया जाता है उसके बारे में बता दीजिए, कैसे हम दूसरी फ्लाइट पकड़ सकते हैं। किसी भी चीज का जवाब इंडिगो की तरफ से नहीं दिया जा रहा, उल्टा रूडली बात की जा रही है, धमकाया जा रहा है यहाँ पर लोगों को। और मतलब
हमारे साथ बने रहिए, because we'll have to shift our focus on that breaking news that we currently have. Sabyasachi, the meeting has concluded with the DGCA, and DGCA has pulled up IndiGo in a very, very big way. Help us understand what really happened during that meeting.
Well, Deepak, see, the meeting of the IndiGo officials with the DGCA has ended. Right now, another round of meeting will begin at the Ministry of Civil Aviation, and the meeting will be chaired by the Minister of Civil Aviation, Nadu, and all the stakeholders along with IndiGo will be present. Now, the ministry has done its own assessment. Now, the ministry, what we are picking from the ministry sources is that there has been serious mismanagement from the IndiGo side. In fact, there has been serious gaps in their functioning. In fact, the ministry also pointed out that IndiGo managed the rostering of pilots extremely poorly. In fact, the IndiGo officials will be pulled up by the ministry, by the Minister of Civil Aviation, Nadu, in this meeting, which has begun at around 4 p.m. at the Ministry of Civil Aviation. And in this meeting, clear answers will be sought from the IndiGo officials. Now, earlier the meeting had taken place with the DGCA. Now, post that meeting, in this meeting, the DGCA will put across the statements that they have gathered from IndiGo. In fact, not only IndiGo, but other stakeholders have also been pulled up for this meeting. Now, this meeting will be on the FDTL as well as the air hikes. Now, what is important to note, Deepak, is that the ministry, in fact, from their internal assessment as well as from the fact that DGCA just had a meeting with the officials from the IndiGo, the ministry clearly says that there has been serious management. There has been a problem in the management of IndiGo, the way they manage their pilots as far as rostering and scheduling of pilots are concerned, and also the management of flights are also concerned. So there has been serious gaps and mismanagement as far as IndiGo is concerned. Now, Deepak, what we learned from the sources is that why there has been a shortage of crew. In fact, from the ministry sources itself, we got to know that some of the pilots, in fact, were seen going to give interview to other airlines, and that has also added to the shortage of crew as far as IndiGo is concerned. See, it has been a massive, chaotic past 2 days across several airports in the country. We had seen that people losing their temper, people are frustrated. We saw what happened in Pune, but Deepak, the accountability also lies with the regulator. We can't only blame the IndiGo for this current situation. The accountability also lies with the ministry, because when 2 years time was given to the airlines to put across with the FDTL guidelines, which IndiGo clearly did not. Now, in these 2 years, they kept on asking extension after extension, which in fact have been provided by the DGCA itself. Now, so when the question arises, why didn't the regulator in fact implemented a strong ground rule that all the airlines within these 2 years have to have to comply with the FDTL guidelines, because IndiGo kept on functioning in their old system, kept on functioning with their old module of having a lean team of pilots or crew members, and not making much hiring. In fact, there was also against poaching that IndiGo pilots, they would not hire any pilots from other airlines. So these are some of the questions which needs to be answered both by the regulator as well as IndiGo. And talking about IndiGo, their main advantage, which we had seen once upon a time, was the single fleet, the focus on the single fleet. That was the A3200, and time and again we had seen that that made IndiGo an economical carrier. But that also has become a vulnerability as far as IndiGo is concerned, because regarding that software problem that emerged in A3200, half of the flight of IndiGo was grounded, and that was seen in Pune today, where 9 of the parking bays were in Pune.
And what we need to understand is that this has become a pattern. Anytime an airline has operational crisis, what happens? They all go into a huddle mode, back-to-back meetings, but at the end of the day, it is the passenger who is left to suffer without no accountability, no action taken report, and also no follow-up from the regulators themselves.
Well, that's right, Deepak. See, there needs to be follow-up. As you rightly said, that the DGCA could have followed up whether all the stakeholders are complying with the High Court order as far as the FDTL is concerned, that all the stakeholders have to comply with this rule. Because since the last 2 years, when it was made mandatory that every single airline have to comply with the FDTL norms within the 2 years time period, where other airlines did, but IndiGo clearly did not. And it kept on asking extension after extension, which was continuously being granted by the DGCA. In fact, there was a no care attitude from the IndiGo side, that they are not going to implement the new norms under FDTL. In fact, that was also, it can't be happened that the regulator was not aware of the situation that's happening with IndiGo. So there has to be some sort of audit which could have been done by the regulator to make sure that how many planes are there, how many pilots are there, whether there is shortage of a crew or not. So these things were clearly ignored as far as the regulator is concerned. Now Ram Mohan Naidu is currently holding this meeting where the stakeholders are present, the Secretary of Civil Aviation Ministry, the DIAL, the Airport Authority of India, all the officials are present, and the ministry is expected to pull up IndiGo for the chaotic situation that we are seeing currently. Now from the ministry sources, Deepak, we got to know that there has been severe lapses as far as the management.
Sachi, every time there's an operational crisis, this is exactly what they do. They get into meetings, but they don't really have any accountability. In fact, we have Defence Minister Rajnath Singh's pictures coming in. Let's cut across. Well, now coming back to the IndiGo airline crisis, we have Shubham Sharma, who is stranded at the Pune airport, who continues to stay on with us. But before we go there and go back to Shubham or even Rohit Rava, we have more pictures coming in from the national capital. Let's cut across to those pictures coming in. In fact, let's go across to Rohit Rava now, who was a passenger. He was stranded at the Bangalore airport, but now he has reached Bhopal. Let's get a sense of how his day has been, because it has been a very, very challenging last few hours for all the passengers who have been stranded. Rohit Rava, you were stranded at KIAL, that is the Bengaluru International Airport. Now you are in Bhopal. Tell us how you reached Bhopal, whether any alternate flight arrangements were made by IndiGo, or was it on your own effort?
First of all, thanks for having me. I'd say my flight was scheduled at 4 o'clock at the evening, and it got delayed and it got rescheduled multiple times before even taking off. it almost took off around 8 o'clock in the evening. And I got to know there was one more flight that got cancelled and it got merged with our flight. And a lot of people were boarding, and I think the airplane reached its capacity around 8 o'clock, and even ground staff came and started helping to make the passenger way and seat. I think that was one of the trouble. And once we took off, there was one of I think unexpected turbulence that we expected. And yeah, I think it was very unfortunate that it got delayed.
Unfortunate, Rohit. It is complete, apathy of IndiGo that has to be blamed here. Let me go across to Shubham Sharma, who continues to be stranded at the Pune airport. Shubham, take us through what's happening at the airport and also about, the responses that are coming in from fellow passengers who are stranded alongside you, and also try to get us a, response from IndiGo staffers as well who are deployed at the airport.
जी, हमारे साथ में एक पैसेंजर यहाँ मौजूद है जो कि काफी समय से एयरपोर्ट में फंसे हुए हैं और उनकी भी इंडिगो की फ्लाइट है, तो वो कुछ अपना जो है जो भी एक्सपीरियंस है वो शेयर करना चाहता है।
भाई एक्सपीरियंस है कि हम लोग बहुत ज्यादा परेशान हैं। मैं कल 5 बजे से यहाँ फंसा।
Shubham, kindly hold your thoughts, and Rohit Rava, we will be right back with you, but we have some pictures coming in from the national capital of Defence Minister Rajnath Singh and also a Russian delegation that has arrived. Minister Rajnath Singh and also a member of the Russian delegation who is accompanying Russian President Vladimir Putin during his two-day visit to India. And these are pictures coming in live from the War Memorial in the national capital. There you can see Defence Minister Rajnath Singh. They are paying tributes at the War Memorial. Coming in and to give us more insights on what this actually is, we have our managing editor Karthigai Sharma joining us live. Yes, Karthigai, tell us what's happening in the national capital.
You see, it's the Guard of Honor that is being received by the Defence Minister of Russia. It's an important visit because there are a couple of issues which are, I would say, still pending between both the countries. The Russians are very keen that we buy Su-57s from them, and Su-57 is the 5th generation fighter. Plus, we have also purchased S-400s for them. Now, S-400 is a part of our Sudarshan Chakra missile shield. Russians are also open to the fact that we purchase S-500. Now, S-500 is able and has the capacity to interject hypersonic glide weapons. Its range is from 180 kilometers to 200, which is near space, unlike S-400. So there's a huge shift between S-400 and S-500. Secondly, we are also interested in the Panzer missile system. Apart from that, we have signed an agreement whereby both the countries will be able to use each other's military bases. So India-Russia tie is basically a very strong defense tie. It's not like America where it's diversified into multiple business points. It's limited in one sense of the word, but strategic in the other. The volume is less, but the importance of what we do with them is very, very high. And the reason is very simple, that in the West, Russia is the only all-weather partner we have, whether it has been our war, whether it has been insurgency. Russians are the only country which have casted the veto for India in UN. They have been the only country who has stood by the Indian side. So with the turn of events that have taken place and the unpredictability of the US foreign policy ambitions, consensus is that relationship with Russia will never change. And there's also personal investment by Putin. Putin is very much invested in the Indian relationship. He understands the importance of Indian relationship, of Russia. And there are more than 1 million Indians in Russia. There are more than 3 million Chinese in Siberia. But for us, Russia is not only about weapons. Russia is also about major institutes of pharmacology, major institutes where doctors go and study, educational institutions, business. But of period of time, their strategic concerns have shifted a bit. Russians have become closer to China. So it becomes very imperative on part of India to continue to open doors with Russia. And lastly, I would say, India has a say when it comes to Ukraine because Putin listens to Modi. So the entire delegation that is coming to India, ministers, just goes on to show how seriously Russians take their relationship with India. This relationship is not built on a personal friendship. It is an institutional relationship. It has a memory. This relationship has a history, and this relationship has a future.
Karthigai, thank you for joining us with those insights. And these are pictures of Russian Defence Minister along with Defence Minister Rajnath Singh laying wreath at the National War Memorial and paying tributes to the Indian soldiers who have made the supreme sacrifice in the line of duty. And the two leaders will also review the entire range of the multifaceted relations between the two countries in the field of defence, including military and military technical cooperation. They will also exchange views on contemporary regional and global issues of mutual interest. Moving on, viewers, tension broke out in Madurai as several pro-Hindu groups clashed with the Tamil Nadu police over preparations for the Karthigai Deepam festival at the Subramaniya Swamy Temple. And according to reports, members from 4 Hindu organizations attempted to climb the Thiruparankundaram hill to light the ceremonial lamp, leading to a scuffle with local police personnel who tried to stop them. The incident comes shortly after the Tamil Nadu High Court directed the temple authorities to light the lamp on the ancient Deepathum by 6 p.m. yesterday, and the orders followed petitions filed by 4 individuals, including Rama Ravi Kumar, an activist from Hindu Makkal Kachchi, who sought permission to light the lamp. However, despite the court's directive, temple authorities did not light the lamp by the specified time, which later triggered protests. Supporters from 4 Hindu groups gathered in large numbers, and some even attempted to scale the hill, prompting the confrontation.
6 மணிக்குள்ள ஏத்தலன்னு சொன்னா 6:05க்கு நான் விசாரிப்பேன்னு சொன்னாங்க. 6:05க்கும் தீபம் ஏத்தல. தீபம் ஏற்கனவே ஏத்திக்கிட்டு இருந்தா அந்த மோட்ச தீபம் ஏத்துற இடத்துல ஏத்துறாங்க. இப்போ அதற்கு அப்புறம் நீதியரசர் மாண்புமிகு நீதியரசர் சொன்னார், இந்த உத்தரவை அமல்படுத்தணும், எக்ஸிக்யூட்டிவ் ஆபீசர் மலைக்கு போகணும், பெட்டிஷனர் உள்ளிட்ட 10 நபர்களுக்கு சிஆர்பிஎஃப் பாதுகாப்போடு அழைச்சிட்டு போய் தீபம் ஏத்தணும்னு சொன்னாங்க. அந்த உத்தரவு நகலை நீங்க வழக்கறிஞர் உள்ளிட்ட எல்லாரும் வந்து கொடுத்தோம். மத்திய பாதுகாப்பு படையோடு நாங்க வந்திருக்கோம். ஆனா தமிழ்நாட்டில் இருக்கக்கூடிய இந்த காவல்துறை அரசு என்ன சொல்றாங்கன்னு சொன்னா, நாங்க வந்து அந்த மத்திய பாதுகாப்பு படை வந்தாலுமே அவங்களையும் சேர்த்து அரெஸ்ட் பண்ணுவாங்க. கேட்டா 144 தடை உத்தரவு போட்டிருக்குங்கிறாங்க. நான் கேட்கிறேன், ஆட்சியர் போட்டிருக்காரு சொல்றாங்க. நான் கேட்கிறேன், இந்த நாட்டில இந்துக்களுக்கு வழிபாட்டு உரிமை இல்லையா? மாண்புமிகு நீதிமன்றம் கொடுத்த அந்த நீதியுடைய உத்தரவை, சட்டத்தின் கோவிலுடைய உத்தரவை இந்த அரசு நிர்வாகம் மதிக்கிறதா இல்லையா?
Meanwhile, viewers, BJP national spokesperson C.R. Keshavan hit out at the DMK government, saying its bitter hatred towards the Hindu faith and Hindu devotees is out in the open.
The undemocratic DMK government brazenly defying the court order, allowing the lighting of the sacred Karthigai Deepam lamp at the Deebattun pillar atop the Thiruparamkundram hill shows the DMK government's deep disrespect for Ambedkarji's constitution. It also exposes the DMK government's bitter hatred towards Hindu faith and Hindu devotees. And the DMK leadership is doing this because to pander and peddle to their bigoted politics of appeasement. We have seen in the past how DMK leaders talked about eradicating Sanatana Dharma. They likened, in the most disgusting way, they likened Sanatana Dharma to AIDS and dengue. Then you had a former DMK union minister say, Hindu religion is not only a menace to India, it is a menace to the world. And even the chief minister of Tamil Nadu and the DMK president, Mr. M.K. Stalin, deliberately avoids wishing the people of Tamil Nadu on Hindu festivals like Deepavali while he wishes the people on other religious festivals. This shows the bigoted mindset of the DMK.
Viewers, that's not all. BJP's Tamilisai Soundararajan also took to her X handle and wrote, and I quote, strongly condemned Tamil Nadu government under DMK denying the rights of Hindus even after judgment in their favour. This biased and discriminative attitude of DMK clearly exposed. The DMK and India alliance have to pay heavily for this attitude. A defeat is for sure for them in 2026. This is Tamilisai Soundararajan saying that this will cost heavily for the opposition in the upcoming Tamil Nadu Assembly elections, which is slated for next year. Moving on, the legal team of MLA Rahul Mamkootathil has confirmed that he will move the Kerala High Court seeking anticipatory bail. The team plans to file the plea online immediately after obtaining the order copy from the Thiruvananthapuram Sessions Court, and the submission aims to secure interim protection against the arrest. If the High Court does not take up the plea tomorrow, the anticipatory bail hearing will be considered only on the 8th, and that increases the risk of his arrest in the meantime. And this comes after Kerala Sessions Court rejected his bail plea, clearing the way for his arrest at any moment. And sources say the court has dismissed all evidence submitted by Rahul in his defence. Mamkootathil moved the court after the police registered the rape case based on a written complaint submitted by the survivor and her family to Chief Minister Pinarayi Vijayan on November 27th, accusing the MLA, the Congress MLA, of rape, pregnancy through sexual assault and forced abortion. A fresh allegation has also emerged from another woman, a non-resident Indian and NRI, who reportedly emailed KPCC, that is the Kerala Pradesh Congress Committee, President Sunny Joseph, accusing Mamkootathil of raping her after inviting her to a resort under the pretext of discussing a potential marriage proposal. And meanwhile, the Kerala Congress Party has also moved swiftly against him. The KPCC has decided to expel Rahul Mamkootathil from the party's primary membership and has conveyed the decision to the AICC leadership. Rahul now faces imminent arrest as he now races against time to secure an anticipatory bail from the Kerala High Court. He is all set to file the anticipatory bail plea online. His team of lawyers are looking into it, but this comes after the Sessions Court rejected his anticipatory bail plea.